I just love peak performers and what it takes for those athletes to take care of their body, their mind, enhance their skill set, and really games are won right here.
The name Michael Saunders has become synonymous with real estate in this region. Since 1976, she's led a formidable enterprise that her son Drayton joined in 2003. Together, they're making their mark on the Suncoast in a big way. We sat down with Michael and Drayton for some insight into how their paths to entrepreneurship began and lessons they've learned along the way.
Making it better every day, surrounding yourself with people smarter than you, being passionate, caring, and doing it brick by brick and stick by stick. All of a sudden, I think success is just making a difference in people's lives.
Even if it comes with a lot of obligations, the freedom to be able to determine how you lead something.
I mean, I think when you've built a business over the years, your most fervent wish is that that will be continued, and not only continued, but enhanced by new thinking and new blood and new leadership. So for me, having Drayton join me as a partner in a family business is absolutely my best dream come true. The cons of it are you have to separate business from personal life.
So I think the biggest challenge we have is remembering to take off our familial hat and put on our pure business hat. And so I think that each side has a lot to learn from the other, but that is probably the trickiest part of a family-run business.
So Drayton, do you remember what your first job was?
I absolutely do. Well, it was not only my first job, but probably the second best job next to this one I've ever had, which was being employed as a ball boy at the Colony in 4th grade, which really meant I got a half-an-hour tennis lesson and got pretty much the run of the property for 2 hours after school and got paid for it.
How about you, Michael? What was your first job?
Well, I think selling Girl Scout cookies was my first job because I learned so much, and although you didn't get paid for it, you were doing it for a good cause, and there were a lot of things you needed to do to be successful, and I always was very competitive. So I wanted to sell the most Girl Scout cookies in my troop in the city and then the state.
I do think that growing up around entrepreneurs was absolutely influential, and if I look back about where my own desire to go and do my own thing came from, and really the confidence was probably by modeling what I saw in those closest to me.
I was led to real estate by knowing that I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. That came about through many jobs and certainly through my social work. And then when I got to a point that I needed to leave social work, I looked at my skills and looked at my high priority of making a difference in people's lives, and real estate was the business I chose, and I've never looked back.
I grew up around the business, and so I really, for most of my young formative years, thought real estate was the most boring business in the world. I spent more time in the back seat of cars or in the lobby of the office than I care to remember. And so growing up, I swore I would never do 3 things. I would never live in Sarasota. I would never, ever work in real estate. And I knew for a certainty I would never work for a parent.
And I knew he was totally wrong.
I went off and in my 20s moved to South America and opened up a business. And that was really where I had my own exposure to the type of work and what really it takes to run a good company. I would say that was one of the prime reasons I wanted to come back, is because I could see from that experience how much work it took to build the team Michael had built. And so I was very honored to be asked to come back and be part of it. And I think early on you want to do it all. You are new in the world of business, so you don't have any track record, and you think, well, if I just have enough energy and talent, I can achieve what I want. But I think the value of a mentor doesn't steal from that ability to go out and create something on your own. It usually accelerates it in ways you'd never predict. So I think for me the takeaway is involve a mentor early and often.
Well, and I don't think it matters what age a mentor is. I learned from Drayton how to make decisions a little more quickly.
And now you're just being nice. I've got it on tape. It's on tape.
They'll cut that part. Passion for what you do is critical. If you're not passionate about it and you just think, oh dear, this looks like a need, I think I'll fill it, but I really don't like that, you have to be passionate. You have to care deeply. You have to have a business plan.
Although technology makes some things more simple and streamlined. It certainly has added far more complexity. I mean, we live in a very distracted world. We text, we tweet, we email, probably while we're driving if we're really being honest, which I of course would not advise. But I think within that sort of evolution of ability to be distracted about the next thing you're focused on, I think engagement gets lost. And I think whatever you do, being focused and engaged on that task has a premium.
But team is so important, collaboration is so important, relationships are so important. There are just so many things that are so critical.
For me, the 3 key takeaways are: listen more, understand the difference between being decisive and hasty, and I think the third thing we've touched on, which is never underestimate your need to continue to learn.
Know when to let it go and go another direction. But once you know and have all the facts and have a team that believes in it and have an economy and a world that needs it, don't give up. But don't stick with something that's a loser. Be ready to let it go.
Oh, no, I think you always learn through your mistakes far more than you do your successes, so I will just chalk it up to being a really good learner. But I do think that one of the subtle differences that I've learned, and I've learned it through really having a great mentor that's sitting next to me, is that there is a difference between the power as an entrepreneur to make the decision to start versus having to think you have to make the decision to carry that all the way through. And I think, you know, really the team solution is often the most valuable. It's really the entrepreneur's job to set the target.
And so therefore that leads me to sports. And I don't play a sport. I'm not coordinated. I can't walk and chew gum, but my mother would never let us chew gum anyway, so that has never been a problem. But I love sports. I love the Olympics. I love golf. I love soccer. I just love peak performers and what it takes for those athletes to take care of their body, their mind, enhance their skill set, and really games are won right here.